Well, hello and good morning on this November the 24th. And may you be having exactly the kind of day and celebration that your heart desires. Today, I'm in Canada, and I know in the United States it is Thanksgiving Day. So I hope you are giving thanks for the gift of life and the ability to share that gift equitably, fairly, and evenly, to share resources and to treat humankind and all sentient beings with compassion and loving kindness. Today's reading is entitled Intuition, and it's very interesting. Well, it starts off with a quote from a Dr. Alexis Carrel. It says Dr. Alexis Carrel tells us that intuition is not a product of the intellect, nor is it something that is developed in the process of our evolution. It's a thing in itself. So I had to go and look up who's Dr. Alexis Carrel. Well, mm, Wikipedia says that Dr. Alexis Carrel, first of all, was celebrated for certain inventions that he pioneered along with Charles Lindbergh. He developed a pump that allowed blood and fluid to be passed from one place to the other, which paved the way to transplantation. So that was why he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Psychology or Medicine in the 1900s. However, there are some other issues that are important to note. He was quoted as a witness to a healing, a faith healing, and as a result received some ridicule in his country of origin, France. But not only that, he was also a supporter of eugenics, um, which is that practice of selection to impact reproduction within the human population to increase the occurrence of certain desirable elements, but which turned out to be not only unscientific, um, but racially biased. So, quoting Dr. Alexis Carrel is something that needs to be done with an asterisk to say that there probably are other sources to quote, and that it's always good to look up, to research who was Dr. Holmes or anybody quoting and what's going on in that person's life. Look, the idea of intuition being and something that isn't developed or evolved is a lovely idea taken just on its own. In fact, I like the way Dr. Holmes describes it. He describes it as that place within us where we intersect with the divine. It is the divine in us. That's a lovely idea. Here's the challenge. How do I know what I'm listening to internally? Because there are so many competing voices and characters and themes running inside of us, and depending on whether I've slept well or eaten well and been upset, there could be all sorts of competing information in me. Am I listening to a reactive voice? Am I listening to the conditioning of my culture or my ancestors? So, learning to identify the voice of intuition is a spiritual practice in its own, and it depends on understanding and becoming acquainted with the tone and the nature of the divine itself. As I explore the nature of divinity, then I can conclude that its voice must match what it is. And if, as we are taught, God is love, then the voice of intuition will be loving. And if the divine is life and we seem to exist, so let us assume that it is life, then its voice must be life. Pro-life in the sense of affirming the energy of existence and being and everything that goes with it. So if intuition tells you to hurt someone, it's not the divine. If intuition tells you to take something that belongs to somebody else, it's not the divine. If intuition makes you feel bad, it's not the divine. So a good place to begin with exploring intuition is by exploring what the divine is. So here's his affirmative thought. Today, I know that intuition, which is the presence of the divine mind in me, guides me correctly. I add, and according to its own nature. It sets me on the path of right action according to its own true nature. It directs my footsteps. It counsels my mind. And in me, intuition is a light that dispels my own ignorance, my own doubt, and sets me safe and sane on the pathway of truth. What a beautiful thought. I hope you have a blessed day today and that you allow intuition to reveal itself to you and to guide you into right relationships with your family and friends and neighbors. And most importantly, with yourself and the self of the divine within you. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.